reality is that kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes like that's what kids do. And I really don't want us to grow up in a country where a kid telling a stupid joke, telling a very offensive stupid joke, is cause to ruin their lives.
All right, so time out here. If you were just kind of watching this, not knowing what's going on in our society at the moment, it might sound, you know what, that's right. Young kids, young boys especially, say some pretty derogatory, offensive, dangerous things. But if you haven't actually seen the messages, you should really go check them out. Or maybe let's show them here. Okay, so here it is. Let's just read some of these and let's just see how we feel after reading them. Everyone that votes no, sorry, let me redo this. Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. When do we bring that side out? Connecting these two together. Also, we are officially under consideration for a Trump endorsement. I wouldn't be surprised if that's true. You're giving nationals too much credit and expecting the Jew to be honest. Great, I love Hitler. Are you going to do whatever it takes? I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkeys play ball. Or monkey play ball. Sorry, can't speak like that. If we ever had, sorry, this one's funny. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked. For real, right? Is that FR? That's what that stands for? Hmm. When do we start bullying dude? Not sure what they're talking about, but kick the bee. Okay. Boom, and they're dead. And everyone that endorses but then votes for us is going to be gas chambers, more gas chambers. It was rape. Okay. He also hates the Jews. I don't know who he is on here. I might need to do some research in there. Let me know if you know who the heck they're talking about right now. Seems a little strange. Who's he? They love the watermelon people. Back to like I don't even know what time period. I don't know, whatever. Stay in the closet. Slur. This girl is fully slurred. All right. Now, remember, this is coming from the party that tells you porn is bad. Porn can mess up your mind. Video games, violent video games are bad. Certain kid shows are bad because they're teaching you how to be trans or how to be gay. These are the people that say this, by the way. And then now we have these same people telling you the things that I just read and the things that you see on the screen are not that big of a deal. They're just boys playing around. Let's finish to see what else our vice president has to say. It sucks that I have to say that. He is my vice president. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go.
That's what kids do. Vice President J.D. Vance earlier today commenting again on a Politico story involving members of young Republicans organizations
Hey, that's
and
the article we
thousands
used.
of leaked messages where they're seen exchanging hate, racist, and homophobic texts. The vice president choosing there not to condemn the messages, instead dismissing it as, quote, what kids do, and that, quote, kids do stupid things, especially young boys.
I want to add something real quick before we finish this because I'm starting to struggle here and I have to decide and make some decisions myself. I'm a very open person. I love to have conversations, even about these things that are kind of hard for most of us to talk about. And when I'm around people, I talk about these things. If you know me, I will talk to you about these things. And when do we draw the line? Like, if you have a associate, a friend, anyone you talk to that does support Donald Trump, when do we draw the line on stuff like this? Like, if you were to go to your friend and share this story with them and they still supported the vice president at this point. I don't know if Trump has said anything. I don't imagine him ever condemning this chat. So to me, that would have to draw a pretty big line between me and this other person that I may communicate with. So I'm struggling myself with that on how much leeway do I give people? Because this is pretty hateful. And if a family member or any associate of mine told me that this was just a joke, I would have to start questioning if I could trust them or not. And that's not extreme. If someone's okay with what we're reading or what you were just reading on the screen, you have to look at them differently. And I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I would love to hear your suggestions, your advice on this because I've been thinking about this lately. I was a little more optimistic even after Trump won, and after having some discussions with some of my friends and coworkers that no, it's not going to be that bad. And I am seeing it is worse than I thought, at least. It wasn't as bad as someone thought, but it's worse than I thought, which means it's bad. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys are handling it, how you guys are dealing with it, because that is something that I've been thinking about. Okay.
Organization in question is for Republicans between the ages of 18 and 40. Kids. Anyway, according to Politico,
Kids aren't
the
40.
Telegram group chats involve Republican operatives and, at least one case, an elected official. Messages. One referred to black
Sorry about that,
people
guys.
as, quote, monkeys and, quote, watermelon people. One talked about sending political opponents to gas chambers. Another called rape, quote, epic. Prominent Republicans like Congresswoman Elise Stefanik were quick to condemn the messages. The young Republicans denounced the texts as vile and inexcusable. Politico reports that at least one person lost their job, while another had a job offer rescinded. At least two of the people involved have apologized.
Okay, look, let me be fair here because if they said that nothing had happened, I would be pretty upset. So I'll say good job by young Republicans at least coming out, whether they really believe it or not. That's fine. That's not up to me. If they come out and apologize for it, good. If they punish people for it, good. And that's kind of all I can go off of. I don't try to make up conspiracies or anything like that. Even if that is in the back of my mind, I have to go off the facts. And the facts are somebody came out, apologized, or say, I don't know if they apologized, but they said it wasn't right. It's vile. So, hey, we got to get points there.
Apologized. My panel is back. The Arena text chain is also with us. Tolu, I want to sort of start with you on the big picture. You spent a lot of time thinking and writing about how race and politics intersect here, and the coarsening of the discourse that is seen on display in these texts is really, well, how do you interpret the reality that these groups, these groups of people felt like this was an appropriate thing to do?
Well,
First, I love to talk to the black guy first. It's kind of, you knew that was going to happen as soon as you saw that black guy on screen. I don't know if he's going to say this, so I want to say it real fast, just in case, as a black person, we say the same things. Because here's my thing, and I've told this to many of my friends, obviously that are not black, that the way people feel right now, the oppression, persecution, the worry, that's being a black person. I felt like that my whole life, and I've had to maneuver in this arena my whole life, which is why probably if you talk to a black person, they're gonna say nothing's changed. This has been the same. It's just now everybody's getting treated like they're black. And the people that think they aren't going to get treated that way, just wait and see what happens. Just like some of the people, and not everybody, some of the people that are getting mistreated now never thought they would get treated like black people. And I just wanted to say that real fast. I doubt he would say anything like that, but anyways, let's go.
It's shocking to see this in public. You have to imagine that this does happen from time to time in these private group chats. I don't want to say that this is representative of all young Republicans, not at all, but it is something that has become more common, and it's something that Donald Trump, if we have to mention the president here, the leader of the party, has made more common. He talks about very coarse language when he talks about his political opponents. He has opened the door to some of this kind of language, and we see the lack of condemnation from someone like J.D. Vance saying that these are just kids, they're just being edgy. And there is a difference between when someone says something that's offensive, that's from a different party. Those kinds of people, in the minds of Donald Trump and his allies, they get deported, or they get shunned, or they get told.
Get it, brother, because that's exactly right. And everybody knows that. And this is the thing, again, where I'm saying, like, where do we draw the lines here? If I'm talking to my buddy and he's still like, no, bro, it's still good. Like, what are we going to do here? Do I stop talking to this person or what? Because I refuse to not talk about it. That's the thing with me. If you're going to be my friend, or we're going to be close, we're going to talk about these things because that's important. And if you can't talk about these things with your friends, who the hell are you going to talk about them to? Because that's what everybody wants. When I say everybody, I mean the people that want the hate. They want separation. They don't want you talking to anyone. They tell you not to talk to anyone. Keep it to yourself, stuff like that. These people are embarrassed. And most people that actually believe that it was okay for these freaking messages to be there, like, people think that's okay, right? Like, they're the ones that don't want to talk about it because it's embarrassing. You can't defend this. All right, let's go.
That they need to lose their jobs. You have to remember what happened after Charlie Kirk was murdered. There is an opportunity for leaders to condemn both sides. If someone on your side says something that's horrendous and offensive, you can condemn it while also condemning it happening on the other side. But there is a certain sense of hypocrisy that if something happens among my political allies, they're just kids and they need to be forgiven and given a lot of grace. If someone on the opposite side of the aisle says something that's offensive,
remember,
they
these
need
weren't
to
all
get
just
the hammer,
kids.
put down on them.
40-year-olds
So I
too.
want to play for you, Tolu, something else that J.D. Vance said here today. We'll watch it because I think it plays into the point Tolu was just making. Take a look.
We're not canceling kids because they do something stupid in a group chat. And if I have to be the person who carries that message forward, I'm fine with it. And by the way, if they were left-wing kids telling stupid left-wing jokes, I would also not want their lives to be ruined because they're saying something stupid in a private group chat.
I don't think this is about any, sorry about the camera focus, but I don't think this is about ruining their lives. They're minors. If they're minors, keep their names out of it. It still should be condemned. And the older people, which I know they know who they are, those are the ones that, yes, maybe their lives shouldn't get ruined, but there should be some repercussions, just like the gentleman brought up about the Charlie Kirk stuff. They were firing people for saying stuff. They were firing people for saying stuff Charlie Kirk said. So just like, that's insane. Remember that. So like I said, if you got a buddy that's still supporting this guy after he's speaking like this, question yourself.
First of all, having a little bit of accountability, potentially losing a job or having a role where you're representing the public, losing that role, is not having your life ruined. It's having accountability for saying something when you're representing people. That's the same thing that people called for when people were saying negative things about Charlie Kirk, who were representative of the public in their own private Facebook chats or Facebook messages. That was what Republicans were calling for back then. So it's called accountability. It's not called ruining people's lives. But it is important to note that some of these vile, racist, and homophobic languages that we see in
What's
these
this
chats,
dude looking like?
do
He looks
cause
shocked.
harm for a lot of people. They do stem from a place, and for people who have power, who want to exert political power to espouse these views, that often filters into policy making. It's not just being edgy in a group chat. This is how people are seeing and dehumanizing people, and it does lead to policy differences that actually.
This guy's gonna be in my
people's lives. So
thumbnail.
it's important to know that it's not
I
just
me
kids
saying,
in a group chat
bro,
being
got it.
edgy. These
That's
are
the
potential
thumbnail.
future leaders who have important roles in our
It could be the Attorney General nominee in Virginia, the Democrat Jay Jones, who's fantasized in text about his opponent, his political opponent, getting 2 bullets to the head, or his children dying in their mother's arms.
Right.
I mean, these are random dorks in a young Republican club who don't have anything better to do. I condemn it. I can completely condemn it. But these are not the Attorney General of Virginia possibilities. I'm very familiar with that race. I work on it.
Stipulate.
Okay, his point is right, but he's not going to do it back to his side because there are very high-level politicians on the Republican side that say just as bad things. I forgot what happened, and I forgot who it was, but there was a Instagram, TikTok, or whatever the heck they call it now, of her with a gun, with a dummy in front, and saying that this is what they should do to, like, they should execute. It was like gays or illegal immigrants. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. But she literally posted that. Is he going to say she should be condemned too?
That the Attorney General, candidate in Virginia, should not have said that. Let's also stipulate.
He should not run. He should drop
Let's
out.
also stipulate these are not kids, 18 to 40 years old. And if you read through what they said, they knew they shouldn't be saying it. They say, we're going to get in a lot of trouble if this becomes public. To talk about being hypocritical, let's go beyond Charlie Kirk, where people lost their jobs for posts. The Trump administration wanted to cancel Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert for making jokes about Donald Trump, for being a comedian. These kids, you should sit down and read some of the quotes, putting people in gas chamber. I mean, it just goes on and on, driving them to suicide. The notion that they should be excused as kids is simply
They're not kids, and it
ludicrous.
deserves all the condemnation
Ludicrous.
that we can muster for it. But I find it interesting that Democrats are aghast about this today when they won't run Jay Jones out of the Attorney General's race in Virginia.
So first of all,
That's all these people can do. Like, he can't focus on the exact subject. And here's the thing I'm seeing, and I know it sounds like it, but I've never been a Democrat. So I just want to say that real fast. But I'm smart, and I can see when one side is wrong, and I can jump sides. It just depends on who the hell is right. And in this moment in time, one side is 100% wrong. But anyways, he's just distracting from the point because he doesn't want to talk about it. Like, they're not allowed to talk about things against the party at all. And if they do say anything against the party, they have to say it in such a slick way. Sorry, one second. Yeah, it's actually a crazy thing that any Republican you watch, that's in good standing, by the way, because I think Marjorie Greene is starting to take a little shift here, and she's starting to make me like her a little bit. And like I said, if you show me change, hey, we're on the same team because we all make mistakes. And if you voted for Trump or voted for any of these bad people, it's okay to make a mistake. The problem is if you don't recognize your mistake because you have too much pride. So that's the only thing I would have to say. It's like, if you voted for, okay, cool. You voted, you were wrong. Just admit you were wrong. Let's work together so we can find a better candidate next time. So that's how I would take that. All right.
shouldn't forget where they were doing these text messages. It was on Telegram. They looked at WhatsApp, they looked at Signal, and they said, no, we need to go to a place that's super private and a venue
for
for
our audience,
extremism.
can you just underscore what Telegram is?
So
Probably a lot of people watching
Telegram is an app for super private, highly encrypted communication
80 to what? 740
Cut this
in
out
less
one
than
second.
what?
to use, that extremist actors have been known to use. They explicitly brought this chat to Telegram because they knew it was vile and worthy of condemnation. I love it how you and our friend Scott on the text are syncing up in your talking points, constantly moving this back to something else. Let's talk about Virginia. Let's talk about this.
Because Jay Jones potentially could lead a state. That is much more consequential than a bunch of dorks on Telegram.
Oh, crap, sorry.
Republicans at this point are probably certified.
Then, I mean, does he condemn Trump and what Trump says? Sorry about that. Like, is he going to condemn them? He's not going to condemn them. He's saying something that's true. This other guy he's talking about that I have no clue. Yeah. He should have to resign for saying anything like that. Any of our leaders should have to resign when they speak in these vile, disgusting, childlike ways. We don't want leaders like that. So he's correct. And in order for both sides to do the same thing, like the black gentleman said here, they have to condemn each other. And the lady in the black, she spoke too. Like, they have to hold their own people accountable. That is literally the only way for both sides to do this, is both of them have to hold their own people accountable. We have to hold our own people accountable. And that's what I mean by sides. If you voted for one side, hold those people accountable. It's your job. You voted for them. It is your responsibility as a voter that chose to go vote to actually hold those people accountable. Don't be one of those voters that vote and then just go back to work and don't look at anything. You're part of the problem. Own up to what you did and try to fix it.
Bible dorks, but the point here is that the Republican Party refuses to apologize for anything today. Anything.
The young Republicans did apologize, Congressman. They condemned
They
it.
did.
They did.
But I know what he means.
The organization condemned it.
They did not.
They did.
I'm talking about the Vice President of the United States, not the Young Republicans organization of anything. They shot rubber bullets at a religious leader, and they did not apologize in Oregon. Okay, this party at this point, irrespective.
All right, and be fair on this, he's kind of changing the subject a little bit. He did have a point, and then he started talking about the rubber bullets. Let's just stay on topic.
Of the level of extremism, we'll just march forward and hope that we forget. And this is yet another illustration of that.
Just to update one thing, I believe Elise Stefanik today sort of changed her tone and said that this was a hit piece by Politico. So she's now getting right with the White House. But just to underscore what the Congress...
Look, they cannot say anything against it. They can't. She has to change it. I'm sorry, not this one. But what she just said, like, they have to change it. Like, if you speak against this party at all, you will be punished. It's like a religion. It's a religion. It's like a religion.
Congressman said that was J.D. Vance, the vice president, making light of this. It's not okay.
I think, I mean, Brad, to the point in the comparison that you're making, I think it's important that we underscore that the conversation here is not about the appropriateness of the remarks that that person made. But it does seem to me, Jamie, that the more responsibility you carry, the bigger platform you have, the larger your megaphone, the more responsibility you do bear. But that does not free you from whatever consequences are appropriate from the place that you find yourself in your life.
I would also say this language goes to another level. This is not about some...
And murdering your opponent?
Excuse me. I'm talking about J.D. Vance, the Republicans, and
he doesn't want to talk about J.D. Vance.
People wrote. This is not about some war on woke. And just to go back to what you said about, President Trump opening Pandora's box, the language of President Trump, of what we heard from Vice President Vance today, it allows this to happen. It doesn't come in isolation.
I like the discussion, and I'll probably do a lot more of these because I enjoy doing these kind of like live reactions. It may not be as fluid and nice for everybody, but I enjoy these. I hope you guys enjoy them. Just let me know by clicking your buttons and maybe suggest other content that I can take a look at, and then we can kind of talk about together. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Again, J Knight out. Peace.